Let's jump straight into episode 3 of LA's Finest, featuring Jessica Alba and Gabrielle Union. So you start off seeing this woman, but I'm not going to start with her. We're going to circle back around to this person because she is dangerous. So first we see Gabrielle Union, aka Sid. She's doing her jog, doing her morning jog, trying to relieve that stress, honey, getting that workout in, honey. And she heads down to the church. She meets a priest, and they share words pretty much saying you can be in great suffering, but that doesn't mean you have to suffer alone. You have your friends around you who will sit there with you and still be your friend before or after the suffering. Okay. And I think that's a good message to Sid. And I also think that's a good message in real life because you see a lot of people, we go through suffering alone. And even though we think that we are doing this to protect them or to keep someone safe, it might actually ended up getting them hurt or even in worse situations. So, moving on to Jessica Alba's character, aka Nancy, you see her morning starts off with her family as usual, having breakfast, getting ready to go off to work. And you see her husband, Patrick, the prosecutor, asking his daughter to wear a dress because he has a big event tonight. It's a big press event for him. And he wants her to look presentable, like the loving, darling, fiery, feisty teenager that she is. But Izzy is resistant because that's just not her. And how can you blame her? And then the next scene, we do see Dante, who gets a text from someone with a video, which shows his brother pretty much getting tortured by some people telling him that he need to come up with these drugs and bring it to him. Otherwise, his brother is going to get... And I'm pretty much doing the finger crossing my neck for death. Metaphor. And right now, Sydney and Nancy, they are at odds because of what Sid confronted Nancy about as far as her past and as far as Sid feeling like, how could you keep this from me? And Nancy's all like, you don't get to judge me after all the things you've done, okay? And you see the roles start to change a little bit because now Nancy is pushing Sid away when that's normally Sid's job, okay? So Nancy doesn't want Sid all in her business, digging up her past. She's like, it just needs to be right where it's at, behind me, okay? My past behind me like a ponytail. Okay, and so do y'all remember when I kept calling Izzy feisty? All right, so this is when we see why.
Why, friend?
So she's in the bathroom and she's just standing in the mirror, contemplating, not contemplating, whatever she's doing. And you see her friend walks in and she's asking her, are you sure you want to do this? And I'm thinking, what you gonna do? She pulls out the clippers and I'm like, huh? Clippers? For what? Turns out, gonna shave her head. I guess she gonna shave her head. And so you see her like pause for a moment as her friend starts to cut her hair for her. She's like, wait. And I'm like, good job, girl. Your hair is too pretty for that. And then she goes, give it to me. And just does it herself. At this moment, I can tell Izzy is crying out for some real attention or some real help. Something's going on with her deeper than what we can see. All right. Deeper than her just having to wear a dress tonight. There's something really bothering her. I can't wait until we really get to dig deep inside her head because, honey, she is all over the place, all right? And the only other things you really need to know about episode 1 is that Nancy's husband runs for DA. He has a conversation with this man. All I can say is just remember his face for a later time, a later place. And also, Sid is going to be attending Nancy's family book club despite everything that they're going through. And we finally find Ray, Dante's brother, dead. And for who I could presume who had him was Pinky and the Brain. And I know that Mr. Dante is certainly torn up about it. I mean, that was his brother, his only brother, and now he's gone. And also, we see Izzy show her new look to her mom and her dad at his party where he just has to swallow that pill as it is for the first time he's ever seen it. And the funniest thing of all about this scene to me is Sid's reaction because she came off very subtle, like, hey, cool, you know what I mean? But then she's like... And the last few things that you need to know is Sid tries to get her flirt on at the bar and gets rejected. And this is when we circle back around to this woman, Carlene Hart, who seems like she's trying to make a pass at Sid off top. But if you don't know by now, Sid does go both ways. We saw this in episode 1, and now we're seeing it a little bit again in episode 3. Also, Dante shows up at this event once again, asking Nancy for a favor because he could be next on the hit list. Now, just in case you missed it, I'll remind you. Dante and Nancy have a history. They used to be together. They robbed a few gas stations together, and Dante helped Nancy and her brother Nico with something when they were in trouble at a young age. Him and Ray helped Nancy, and that's why he feels she owes him this now. So he wants Nancy to help him find who killed his brother, so hopefully he can kill them first. Also, Sid gets ambushed by Pinky and the Brain, and she gets to relay a message to Knox after she kicks their butt and kicks them out. And then afterwards, Nancy and Izzy have a touching moment, and I realize Izzy recently lost her mom, and that's why she is bouncing off the walls right now, all over the place, which is totally understandable. And then we see Pinky and the Brain get manhandled by Carlene. Scared man, yeah, that's me. Who happens to be the right-hand man for Mr. Knox. So she was all up in Sid's face. Sid wanted to go after Knox. She didn't even know how close she was to Knox. Or the last things that you need to know about episode 1. Milk Chocolate is having a little nugget, a little jelly beanie. And Sid reveals that she has the drugs that Pinky and the Brain have been looking for all this time to Nancy. Which I have to correct myself from episode 1. It wasn't crack cocaine. It was $20 million of fentanyl. And I quote, "What do you see?" And Sid and Nancy cook up a way to get rid of said drugs, alright? And Dante goes looking for someone to help him find the Brain so he can kill him. Nancy let the opportunity pass her by to spill the tea about Dante, her old flame, to Patrick, the DA, alright? So, now that we covered all the facts, I can get to what I need to get to. Remember when I said this guy? This is Nancy's husband's boss or old boss. We see him meeting with Carlene. This woman has been on the scene a Mississippi Minute and has everyone under her thumb already. I'm not playing, y'all. I'm not playing. She is on it. Hot girl award. But on another note, the way that this ends is Sid tries out what I call some terrifying ways, or a way to recover her memories of how she got shot, to uncover who shot her. But that's all I got for y'all today as far as episode 3 LA's Finest review, recap, review, whatever you want to call it. Like I said, I got y'all more videos coming your way. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell, do your thing. Holla. Back to